I still haven't figured out the lighting situation, although it's less pink this time. I'm back with another project that I probably won't finish, or that probably won't change anything. Or maybe this is the time. I don't know. I've been in a depression hole for a lot of February and January, to be fair, so I've occupied myself a little bit with making an activity scale that I just made up. I'll want some advice for that later. I talked briefly about it in my previous bullet journal video. I was trying to plan out this week, then I couldn't think of anything specific. If someone could just tell me what to do, that would be great. No, looking at the weather forecast, I think I'll be out on a litter pick Wednesday or Thursday, like a proper one with my pecking stick. That's not what that is called, but I think you get what I mean. One of those grabbers. Anyway, I'm just making my little 3 weekly goals here, so I'm going to struggle filling them in, but I'm going to get there. I saw my neighbor go outside with one of those litter grabbers as well, so I'm not the only one picking around here these days, which is nice, but there's still a lot, so I'll see when I go out later this week how much they got versus how much I can get. I am also going to try to write because I did not do that at all last week, so that's one of my goals, as well as going for walks. It's going to be like okay-ish weather. Last week was really wet, so I didn't get out much, and I feel that in my body and my soul, if that makes sense. I'm just filling in my activity level there, which is that scale that we're going to return to very soon. And when I hit 3, then I want to walk 4 times, and I want to write, I think, 3 times, because last week I was going to write 5 times, and I wrote a single time. It was a good time. I wrote like 2,000 words, but still not at all enough. Just very, very briefly filling in a little bit for Monday here. I'm not a person who plans out their whole week. I never know what happens, and my plans always end up turning out to be wrong, so I try just to fill them in the night before. So let's talk activity scale. I didn't think before I planned out that page, or rather I didn't plan out that page, I just started writing, and that's what I always do, and it's always stupid. But I've made up everything I get points for, and I tried to think about how much energy I spend doing those things and assign points per that. So that has led me to divvying up the activities into different sort of categories, where some I count per hour as a unit. So one activity equals 1 hour of doing this thing, and that would be cleaning and gardening, that type of chore. Also writing and walking. I forgot to write that down on this clip that you're about to see though, so you'll miss the walking part. But those are 1 point per hour. They are not super taxing mentally, but they are physically taxing, so they definitely count. And a full hour counts. I may count half a point if I just do half an hour. I haven't really decided about that yet. We'll see. I also have things that each activity gives me a point regardless of how long or short the activity actually is. Like job search stuff, which is very mentally taxing for me. So both looking at job listings and working on an application counts as 1 point. And if it takes me like 10 minutes to do, it's still a point because it's an important activity that I have to do, even though it, never goes anywhere. It's very frustrating and very taxing, and sometimes I even have panic attacks about it, Well, I hope you don't know, to be honest. I do not wish unemployment on my worst enemy. No, actually, I do. I do wish it on my worst enemy. So those are 1 point each. Same with cooking and also filming and editing videos. If I do that, that's an activity because it requires a sort of mental state, if that makes sense at all. I also do not write it down here, but I do have strength training on here as well. I just forgot about exercise when I was doing this writing thing. And then lastly, I have activities that count in different ways, and I've only written on reading on that because I count reading as an activity if I've done it for more than 30 minutes. But doing it for 3 hours does not give me any extra points. It is sort of just doing it for a prolonged stretch of time that matters. Yeah, it's a bit of a boring list, and I would love some ideas if anybody has anything useful to put on there to make my life better. And that is like a whole activity. I should probably put on mending clothing or sewing or something, because I sometimes do that. I don't know. If you have any ideas, please put them in my comment section. Also, do you measure activities in points in this way, or measure out your energy like this? Let me know.